could be expedited through employee share options. There's need to improve access to areas of tourist interest. Some areas do not have any infrastructure at all. This will require substantial government participation. But industry will have to reciprocate by improving the social welfare of communities in the destination areas. My recommendation would be that industry should assist in upgrading such facilities as primary education and other facilities in such villages as Sironga, Gunutsuha, Beta, and Gudikwa, so that they become an attraction in themselves. Ideally, every village in Botswana should be developed into a tourist destination with minimum facilities for accommodation. However, I'm realistic enough to know that this will take time. But with some degree of focus and mindset change, it is an ambition that is realizable within the horizons of Vision 2036. I thank you.
Thank you very much, MCJT, otherwise known as Re Tiboni. Ladies and gentlemen, if you were taking notes during this presentation filled with wisdom, and you are wondering when you'll have an opportunity to further have a chat about it, you'll be happy to know that a little bit later during the process of this conference, we will actually be dedicating a segment of time for exactly that, a discussion on Re Tibone's presentation. Now, last night I had an opportunity to make some new friends at the welcome dinner, and I was also pleasantly surprised to discover that there was a lot of familiar faces, and I want to thank each and every one of you who had words of encouragement as I shared with you my nervousness about serving this very powerful sector for the very first time. And then I also want to say a special thank you to my friends from Emergency Assist 991. They said, don't worry about your nerves, Jazz, even if you faint. We will come swiftly onto the stage, we will sort you out, resuscitate, and you can get back on the microphone. So thank you very much to our friends, Emergency Assist 991, one of the many incredible sponsors of this powerful, powerful platform. And while we are there, I'd like to say a very big special hello to everyone who has been following the proceedings online via various media houses. A big special thank you to Duma FM, who has been broadcasting the Hatab conference for quite a couple of years, I believe. And I know that we are also with Radio Botswana. I believe Gabs FM is here as well. And I'm sure you're going to be seeing us on BTV. So as they said in Sarafina, please don't forget to smile for the camera flash. Zoom in. So yes, as I said, thank you very much to everyone. Hatab, I'm falling in love with you. I hope you're falling in love with me. I was so excited. MC job, pop, 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 pop. I'm and I have my own choral choir back and Papi's job of one. What like Gaganyo or Hasur Gifudurele Moma, that is a legend of Land Twisore, Rakopanimara Tula, Kakola Kakola Kakola, Motuits and Elena Hudrelakaquano, but I won't say. If you know me very well, then you know that I hold our Tatuna in very high regard and with gratitude for his contribution to the caliber of MC I am by granting me the privilege of sharing the stage with him more times than I can actually count on my two hands. And it's always such a nervousness experience for me. I'm like, how am I going to introduce this gentleman again? What am I going to take last year's introduction, 2 years ago's introduction, Dubai's introduction? I just do not know. So, I'm going to zoom it into a particular favorite aspect of our next speaker. If you know me well, you will know that one of my favorite Setswana words to teach new friends from different countries is tautona, the great lion. The day I go to heaven, I will ask to meet the person who chose this phrase for our word president, so I can give them a high five for their brilliance in Setswana poetry. I'd like to say a special hello to one of my new best friends that I met yesterday, Pat from Tautona Lodge. We had a fantastic conversation about this word because it turns out it's also his favorite word. In fact, it's his favorite word for many reasons that you know better than I do. And he taught me something interesting about this word, tautona. Did you know? In our translation of this word as president, it is exclusive to the president of the Republic of Botswana. President MC, I'm not going to be called tautona. I will be called Moeteledipele, Modula Sitilo. Tautona is exclusive to our next speaker. I wish to resist the urge to deliver my personal message of gratitude to him. I will make my way to his office to extend it. For now, it is a privilege to make my way out of the stage for a poet who is about to exquisitely receive our president to the stage. This poet's name is Golebogile Christmas, and he will be joined by his sister Marilady. Ladies and gentlemen, araba amogele, batle ba amogele tautona. Yeah, Mr. Christmas doesn't even need a microphone, is how incredible he is at what he does. Please, a round of applause for that beautiful performance. If you haven't yet done so, please do visit the Hatab Facebook page. And if you haven't liked the Facebook page yet, please do so. You will notice a lot of content that includes the sponsors for this year's event. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency, Tautona, Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi.
Thank you very much. Kindly take your seats. The Director of Ceremonies, Ms. Oratile Giselle Kipakile, the Honorable, not so new Minister of Environment and Tourism and also Member of Parliament for Gaborone South, Dumizweni Mtimkulu, and your colleague ministers here present, the members of Parliament for Maung East and Maung West, Mutsa Khosia o Tawana Khosi Kialitile Moremi, members of the Diplomatic Corps, the Chairman of Northwest District Council, and the Gaborone City Mayor, I'm told is here. Austin Abraham, you're here? Oh, you're right at the back. All right. And other councillors present here, the Chairman of Hatab, Mr. Joe Motse, and your board, Motor Holdings Botswana Chairman, Ambassador Charles Tiboni, the Acting Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Environment and Tourism, Mr. Mokgweetsi, and other permanent secretaries present, the Chief Executive Officer of Hatab, Melilira Korong, other Chief Executive Officers and Captains of Industry, members of the business community, pastors and other religious leaders, performing artists, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you all. Distinguished guests, I must say from the onset I feel very honored to address you on this August occasion of the 39th edition of the annual Hospitality and Tourism Association of Botswana Conference, right here at Maung Lodge in Maung. I wish from the outset to extend my gratitude to the organizers for inviting me to today's event, which holds a great promise to catalyze the tourism industry to greater heights. The actual ceremony is tourism, often regarded as the lifeblood of many economies throughout the world, often holds limitless potential to drive positive change on a global scale, not least in Botswana. For our country, the tourism sector plays a critical role in our economy as the second largest revenue earner and contributor to our gross national product. It contributes significantly to investment, economic growth, wealth creation, and to employment. As per the Q3 2023 multi-topic survey conducted by Statistics Botswana, the hospitality sector, being a crucial component of the tourism industry, contributed approximately 23,000 jobs, which represents 4.1% of all formal jobs. According to the survey, 94% of these employees are citizens. The statistical data from the Tourism Satellite Account, TSA, also demonstrate that the tourism sector contributes 5.1% to the country's GDP. These figures bear testimony to tourism and hospitality as being among the leading creators of jobs in Botswana. It is evident that in the post-COVID recovery period, the share of formal private sector jobs to total employment continues to grow and now stands at 35.4%. If we include other non-government jobs, then the figure is obviously higher. Ladies and gentlemen, I need not tell you that it is a socio-economic imperative for the tourism industry and indeed the private sector as a whole to create even more job opportunities for our nation, particularly its young people who account for 60% of Botswana's national population. After all of us in this room value the dignity that work brings to our people. The youth of working age deserve it as much. Government recognizes and appreciates the private sector as an important actor for economic growth, prosperity, and job creation. To this end, I note with a great deal of satisfaction that the private sector has, with the passage of time, begun to play its rightful role as we strive to diversify our country's economy. Over the last 2 years, a lot of efforts have been directed towards reviving the tourism sector from the lingering effects of the COVID-19. With this, my government taking a conscious decision to focus on revitalizing the industry as we transition to the National Development Plan 12, NDP 12. This is because government is fully aware that the private sector must take its rightful place as a partner in national development as we embark on this journey to transform our tourism into a truly world-class offering. Despite the good progress in the number of private sector jobs created as compared to public sector employment, we need to work harder so that, as an overwhelming majority of our workforce is employed in the private sector in line with trends in high-income economies. It is imperative that the economic path that we must continue to chart seeks to ensure continued growth, job creation, and economic stability, led by a vibrant and responsive private sector. Ladies and gentlemen, it is on this basis that I find your choice of theme for the conference, titled Advancing Towards a World-Class Tourism Investment Climate to Create Jobs, to be relevant and aligned to our National Long-Term Vision 2036. I wish, therefore, to assure you that government continues to do its utmost best to provide a world-class investment climate for not only the tourism sector, but the private sector as a whole, in line with the theme of this conference. We are cognizant of the fact that our economic performance in the first 4 decades of self-rule was spectacular because it was and still is anchored on good economic stewardship. Needless to say, a good government. Yes? It is in this prudent macroeconomic policy posture that saw us emerge from a poor country in 1966 to an upper middle income economy by 2007. However, we cannot for a moment afford to rest on our laurels. This is why our Vision 2036 sounds a note of caution to the effect that, and I quote, the successes of the past do not necessarily guarantee future success. The very components of our economy that have supported us will not necessarily do so in the future, end quote. Hence, my clarion call for a mindset change in order to transform our economy and society. In the beginnings of change of my government, the reset and reclaim agenda, the holding up to world-class mining giants and piercing through them, interrogating them against all odds, causing them to change. And change they are. You must have heard that Singapore is losing out to Gaborone. It's not an accident. I'm here. It's not an accident. And there will be many such shifts, even in this sector, where we rivet higher and better for all. So the good times are coming. The shift in mindset that we expect from all sectors represented here is for all of us to arrive at a correct understanding that in the tourism industry, we have a unique product and resource that manifests in both consumptive and non-consumptive practices. Both photographic and controlled hunting are viable options that support the economy of this republic and the livelihoods of our communities. We should therefore be more circumspect and never appear to be tilting the scale in favor of one preoccupation at the expense of another. It's no zero-sum game. In this wildlife economy, the twinned and integrated enterprises of photographic tourism and controlled hunting tourism are mutually interdependent rather than exclusive. I spoke at the launch, indeed, of the Hikalangwanyana, okay, Mutsi. It's only one girl, by the way, one. An excruciatingly beautiful maiden of the Bakhatabamana. You'll never see anything better than that. Until Chombo came along and... I spoke at the launch at the Hikalangwanyana Cultural Festival in Moshopo last Saturday that some sectors have been neglected for far too long. Yet they are a critical part of the value chains for transforming our economy. To reach a higher income status economy by 2036, Botswana must maintain a consistently positive annual economic growth rate of between 5 and 6%. We, however, have on average recorded growth rates below the required rates since 2008. This points to the need for broad-based structural reforms that would enable us to grow at a faster pace and become a high-income economy by 2036, which is a mere 12 years from now. In fact, 11.5 years from now. 0.7. Our National Vision 2036 also underscores the need for making tough decisions and spelling clear outcomes of sustainable economic development through a coordinated national transformation strategy that addresses the hitherto endemic problems of implementation of our national development plans and our resolve to so do. Central to national transformation strategy is a need for productivity improvement as part of reforms. Productivity improvement at every level. That is why the Vision 2036 enjoins the nation to be passionate about productivity, because the lack of it thereof affects our international competitiveness and the prospects of success. I therefore urge the tourism sector to take the lead in raising productivity levels, as well as inculcating a world-class service culture. A world-class service culture. Hatab, say that to all your members and your non-members, and your wanna-be members. World-class service culture. Both domestic and international guests at our various hotels, lodges, camps, and restaurants must be received with botho and offered impeccable, risk-free, discrimination-free customer service. Ladies and gentlemen, I note with great satisfaction that following the devastating effect of COVID-19 on our nation and indeed on all of humanity, our tourism sector is on a path to recovery. According to the International Visitor Arrival Stats Brief, we, open quote, received a total of 248,946 international visitors. These are tourists during the second quarter of 2022. These represented 88.2% of total non-citizen arrivals, which were at 282,220, the bulk of whom emanated from the SADC sub-region. In-transit tourists represented the highest proportion of tourists at 47.6%, 99,986, followed by business tourists at 19.9%, 41,791 of them, all tourist arrivals, of all tourist arrivals. All we have to do is to maintain the momentum and scale up the performance. Distinguished guests, for us to grow the sector even further, we need to redouble our efforts to improve air connectivity, because tourism is, after all, about the movement of people from one destination to the other. It is pleasing, therefore, that Ethiopian Airlines which already operates the Gaborone-Addis Ababa route, will be adding the Maung-Addis Ababa route to its schedule with effect from June 2024. This is a very welcome and important development for our tourism, and we thank Ethiopian Airlines for the move. Yet they will also be carrying our beef back. I wish to show you, ladies and gentlemen, that government, through the Civil Aviation Authority of Botswana, is working tirelessly to attract more long-haul carriers to our shores to promote the growth of the tourism sector. We will also leave no stone unturned to lure back those international airlines which used to serve the Botswana market, but terminated their service due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. We're also working diligently on a refleeting plan for Air Botswana in a bid to expand access for and the travel experience of the business traveler, tourists, and other regular passengers. And yes, I saw the GM for Air Botswana here. I'm sure she'll have many more good news to tell you. Very exciting news. Furthermore, I'm happy to inform that CAAB is also working on a plan to set up a comfortable lounge at Maui International Airport to enhance the experience of passengers as well as mitigate congestion. So all I can say is watch this space. To promote investment, a board called Botswana Economic Development Board, to be led by myself, is being set up to deal expeditiously with any regulatory bottlenecks and delays which investors, including those in the tourism sector, encounter from time to time. So do Lisi, all the things you said, even though I can confirm with respect to the leases, those will be cleaned out very quickly. I had a meeting with the Minister of Lands, and likewise they will be aiding the Ministry of Tourism and others. And that's why the other ministers are here. They will also deal with your vegetable issues. And you will deal with them too. The board will also be charged with attracting investment into Botswana, as well as support efforts to make our investment climate second to none. The proposed Botswana Economic Development Board, whose work will be informed, among others, by that which Botswana Investment and Trade Center, BITC, is facing problems in executing, will also communicate and promote Botswana's key strengths in the business institutional support, legal, and financial ecosystem that enable prospective investors to harness the country's comparative advantages for global trade. So this investment board is meant to be a bridge between all the others as they face problems, because apparently they can onboard an investor, but as soon as the investor lands here, problems begin to emerge. So we will attempt to clean that out. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, other typical matters that the board will address include delays in licensing, permits, environmental impact assessment approvals, and lease concessions to improve security of tenure, and therefore dependability of investment. All this will be done within the context of promoting Botswana as a destination which offers a world-class climate for doing business, including tourism. We therefore envisage that the board will work closely with businesses and regulators to explore opportunities to boost our business environment and support favorable commercial conditions. But we expect reciprocity. We expect reciprocity. So when we have policies and guidelines in the country, first is to respect them, respect the land and the people. And two, give back. Give back. That's all we ask for. Take away the profits, do as you please, get wealthy, travel the world, be happy, but make Botswana and Botswana happy as a precondition. If you don't, I'm afraid we won't allow you to operate. So the board will, among other things, really clean out the industry and take out bad players, keep the best. Yes? It will also serve to promote the interests of Botswana, first and foremost, because in the best, we must see them come through first, tops, so that we can export them to your other countries. Tourism has become an important engine of growth for many economies across the world. We in Botswana have carved our niche in wildlife-based tourism in the northern part of the country. The rest of the country must also be positioned to tap into the growing markets by diversifying its tourism product line and pursuing tourism activities which offer it a competitive advantage. That's basically just a summary of Ambassador Tiboni's presentation. I concur. To this end, ladies and gentlemen, government is very committed to realizing its aims of diversifying the tourism product by creating an enabling and conducive environment for growth to facilitate exploration of new ventures. In this regard, a number of legislative and policy reforms have been and continue to be undertaken by government to create an avenue for active private sector involvement in the shared responsibility of improving the livelihoods of Botswana. These include the formulation of new strategies which are in tandem with emerging issues and also support these efforts. Some notable developments include A, the review of the tourism policy, and B, the development of the National Tourism Strategy and Master Plan of 2023-2033. For the actualization of the tourism policy, the strategy will guide Botswana's tourism development in the next 10 years. Within this strategy, the country has been delineated into 8 tourism development areas, TDAs, in which area specific tourism products will be developed, thus contributing to diversifying the country's tourism products. Familiarize yourself with it. The implementation of the 10-year strategy will enable the broadening of the tourism base and product diversity. This will also usher in the improvement of other key areas of economic growth, such as nature conservation, culture and heritage, agriculture, thereby promoting value chain growth. Development of the 8 TDAs will also set aside land policy, and I quote tourism policy, best placed to provide leadership, advocacy, and the necessary planning to ensure that communities and local businesses get the most out of tourism and minimize negative impacts, close quote. To be successful on the tourism front, the tourism industry needs to collaborate with local authorities to promote conservation, environmental protection, cleanliness, and public safety to allow patrons to go out freely at any time of day or night. We also wish to see close collaboration between local authorities and businesses, including the tourism sector, to curb noise nuisance. Yes, noise nuisance. I'm told it's a big problem in Maung. Noise nuisance. And Prophet, I'm told the church can also be noisy. So talk to them. They must talk to God quietly, or sing to God quietly. It is also necessary to introduce regulations to preserve Botswana's historical buildings by reviewing our building code to guide developers who wish to restore their properties. The current practice of demolishing buildings, whether it is public or private buildings, without due regard to heritage preservation, needs to change, because it is not in the best interest of tourism growth and diversification. We are continually reviewing our permitting system to ensure that they do not weigh down on your investment decisions. A review of licensing procedures, including automation to reduce business costs, is also underway. It is urgent to rectify this situation by allowing license holders to pay their annual license irrespective of whether their premises have been inspected before the fee payment or not. After all, an inspection can be carried out at a later time convenient to the public health inspector. So it should not hold you. Director of Ceremonies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's now, as you had expected, my singular honor to declare the 39th annual Hatab conference officially open. Apula ema subelele ine. I look forward to seeing you next year. If you don't invite me, I'll invite myself. In the same capacity as I am in. Thank you.
Tautona, we have a gift we'd like to present to you, please. I'd like to call upon Joe to please present a token of appreciation to Tautona. All of them. Ladies and gentlemen, you may take residence of your seats. Thank you so much. Mr. DJ, we won't mind the soundtrack. Feel free. O ka tswella ka dipina tsotlhe motobetsi wa dipina. Thank you.
Let me thank you most graciously for those gifts. Some, I guess, I'll share with other people who will use them more than I will. But there are so many, I don't think anybody should think these are farewell gifts. I'm not going anywhere. Thanks.
All right. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Tautona. This assortment of gifts is a collaborative effort from the various Hatab members who came together to contribute to this experience of gifts. In fact, I was busy counting them, Your Excellency, and I think, of course it's not a goodbye gift. It is a gift for every year that you shall be in residence in that office. A round of applause if you agree. Well, it's time for some entertainment now, so let's enjoy it. There's never better opportunity to illustrate the beauty of Setswana culture, like when there's traditional dance to take place. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tuneya Cultural Group. Arabamogele. Well, as they prepare to join us and blaze the dance floor, I'll just let you know that we will be continuing the program. We're coming to a conclusion of the official opening ceremony. We will still have panel discussions. We'll share with you all the hospitality. There's a tea break coming up. Just stand by for further information. Until then, here we are with Tuneya. I promise you there is not going to be any other song in our minds for the rest of this weekend. I can tell you for sure, once I've knocked off tonight and I'm at the drinking hole, the only song I'll be singing is... And by the way, just in case you noticed there was no swiping machine around here, but you wanted to contribute to the beautiful process that was taking place, you'll be happy to know I've got their cell number. They do receive pay to sell. They do receive e-wallets. So if you'd like to contribute to Tuneya's growth and applaud them for their performance so that they can feed their families and continue to have spare time to create art, you can reach them at 75734367. By the way, if you just want to give them a call and say well done, you'll be speaking to Utusamang. So the number once again is 75734367. Yes, Mr. Christmas, I'm coming to you backstage to get your number for the very same purpose. Until then, just to let you know that we're fast approaching break time, and during this break, we will also be having the presidential tour of the stalls that you noticed on your arrival at this conference facility. So that is to say, during the presidential tour, we delegates shall enjoy a tea break before we reconvene in this room for the panel discussion segment. Our tea break, inshallah, will be 20 minutes. Now, since his entry into office at Environment and Tourism, Botswana's elephants have become even more famous than they ever were around the world. His mission to the UK will forever be marked in history. Listening to him has taught me that we have the third largest number of lions and buffalo in the world. I knew about the elephants. I also learned that last year we had 2,500 wildlife attacks on humans. This year already also has counts in the thousands. These are the things I am learning from listening to him. So please don't take my word for it. Maybe you'll get a chance to ask him if I heard him correctly a little bit later today as the Hatab conference continues. Until then, I shall swiftly make way from the podium for the Minister of Environment and Tourism as he delivers the vote of thanks for today. Fellow delegates, please join me in giving him a round of applause in receiving him. Honorable Dumezweni Mthimkhulu.
Thank you. Dumela mbagaetso. To start, my name. What is in the name? Kina Dumezweni. Do, like in doing. Then me. Meti, do me. The first part, great. Zweni. To all nations. Dumezweni. That's my name. Mthimkhulu. Mthi. The root. Start. Star. Moody. Mthi. Mkhulu. Mkhulu. Big. So my name is Dumezweni Mthimkhulu. So that is in my name. That is my name. And kisi mo hela ka before ke tsena mo tebogong e kwadilweng. Simolela ke leboge tautona rona mo go hapegileng. He sent me on a journey to London, Paris, and Germany. Last week I was in Portugal to formally join the CIC as a country. And surprisingly, to my shock, I was told that we, as Botswana, for the first time, that organization has been involved in marketing, controversial issues, whatever. They have hit 1.9 billion hits. The 1.9 billion hits are Botswana, elephants, and Mokgweetsi Eric Kabetwe Masisi. So let us give him a standing ovation for fighting and putting forward this beautiful nation and its people. It is not every day that we get that as a country, and we hope that we are going to get it more from him. He has spoken about the diamonds. We know if it were not because of him, we wouldn't be talking about diamonds like we are talking about today. Yeah, no ke tsena mo go tsa speech se se kwadilweng ke bue se se kwadilweng to ga ke senya no. Your Excellency, the President of Botswana, Dr. Mokgweetsi Eric Kabetwe Masisi, honorable ministers here present, members of Parliament for Maung East and Maung West, Rachel Shando, Lire Yokhonegile, Mothusa Kgosi ya go Tawana, Kgosi Kialitile Moremi, Le Marara Amangwa Hanu, members of the diplomatic corps, Hatab chairperson and your board members, senior government officials, captains of the industry, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. Today marks another historic event in which His Excellency Dr. Mokgweetsi Eric Kabetwe Masisi, President of the Republic of Botswana, demonstrate his steadfast support for Botswana's tourism development. Your Excellency, I would like to take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude for making time to meet with industry leaders despite your hectic schedule. This clearly indicates that you continue to see this sector as a key economic driver. Your address could not have come at a better moment. Given that the industry is still struggling to recover from the effects of COVID-19, your statement, sir, will go a long way towards encouraging the industry participants to persevere. Your commitment to growing tourism in Botswana is absolutely appreciated, and your willingness to meet with industry representatives reflects your commitment to leading this country where engagement with all stakeholders is key. We appreciate your leadership and advice during these challenging times, and we are convinced that with your ongoing support, the industry will emerge stronger than ever. Thank you, Your Excellency, for your unrelenting dedication to the growth of tourism in Botswana. To Richard Tiboni, I truly thank you for your honoring this conference. Your thoughts will reverberate throughout the industry as this critical sector faces new difficulties in an ever-changing business landscape. Your thoughts and experience have illuminated the way forward for many of us in attendance. Your passion for the industry is ever amazing, and I appreciate the opportunity to hear you speak, even though you say that you are not a player in the tourism industry, Mr. Tiboni. I'm confident that your remarks will serve as a light of hope for all of us as we traverse the ever-changing environment of our field. Thank you again for your tremendous contributions to this conference. Captains of industry, your contributions to tourism development and economic progress cannot be overstated. Your business generates jobs, with the majority of your employees coming from Botswana. This is commendable, despite the ongoing problems you encounter on a daily basis. We, as a government, are grateful to you for your perseverance in the face of difficult economic conditions. I beg you to remain steadfast in ensuring that this sector continues to thrive. Your devotion and hard work are greatly appreciated, and we understand the critical role you play in propelling our economy ahead. The tourism sector is a critical pillar of our country's development, and your efforts do not go unnoticed. We are committed to supporting you in overcoming any obstacles that may come your way, and together we can ensure the continued success and growth of this important sector. Thank you for your unwavering commitment to the betterment of our country and its people. Hatab, board chairman, and your crew. Organizing an event of this magnitude will be impossible without your collaboration and hard work. As a result, I would like to thank you for ensuring that this event is well organized. Please continue to do well in the upcoming events. This event is critical to bring in key stakeholders and industry captains together to discuss topics important to the nation's development. Permit me, Your Excellency, to formally present myself to the industry leaders who are vital to the diversification of our economy. Tourism has a great deal of potential to boost employment and raise Botswana's standards of living. I believe that by working together with these industry leaders, we can create innovative strategies to attract more tourists to our beautiful country and showcase all that Botswana has to offer. With the expertise and support, we can develop sustainable tourism initiatives that will not only benefit our economy, but also preserve our natural resources for future generations. I'm eager to collaborate with them and explore new opportunities to drive growth and prosperity for all Botswana. The recent restriction on importation of hunting trophies imposed by some European that some European countries intend to impose, who are our main source markets, is only one of the difficulties that our country is currently facing. Thus, cooperation is required if we are to establish as the preferred travel destination. Mr. Mose, I heard you earlier. You spoke of Hatab and its members' support for the fight of our efforts to fight the intentions of the European capitals. I would say, hasten to say, to add to what you said, that we understand and we appreciate your efforts, but we are also watching. We have noted and we are watching that some of your members, who are also international organizations, who have international investors, they are very quiet. And some of them, the people behind them, unfortunately, they are those who support those whose actions are inimical to the interest of the nation. So we are noting and we are watching, and I believe my boss, His Excellency, the President, being here today, he also has noted, and the government in the future will act appropriately and accordingly. Because we have to all, like you said, protect the interest of Botswana, especially Botswana, who lives amongst these elephants. By promoting responsible tourism practices, we can ensure that future generations can continue to enjoy all that our country has to offer. I am confident that by joining forces, we can navigate through these challenges and position Botswana as a top travel destination for years to come. My ministry has developed a 10-year national tourism strategy and master plan to guide development and grow the tourism sector. I therefore solicit your support in the full implementation of this important tourism strategy, which is a game changer for our tourism industry. Your Excellency, this strategy is one of your many initiatives in your endeavor for economic growth and the improvement of the livelihoods of Botswana. I believe that with your leadership and dedication, this tourism can only transform our country's economy and create numerous opportunities for our people. By fully supporting and implementing this strategy, we can attract more tourists, create jobs, and boost local businesses. I wish you good deliberations and look forward to further engagements like this one, where we can carefully discuss policy issues that will strengthen and sustain our sector. We can work together to develop new answers to our industry's difficulties. By partnering and sharing our knowledge and skills, we can build a stronger, more dynamic sector that benefits everyone. I'm excited to see how our ideas and efforts will benefit the future of our industry. Let us continue to work together for a better, brighter tomorrow for all of us and Botswana who need these achievements very much. I thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Dumezweni Mtimkulu. I told you, I listened to you, so I was listening. Dumezweni Mtimkulu. Ra go leboga motho o motona. A round of applause, please, indeed, for our Minister of Environment and Tourism. Ladies and gentlemen, we are fast track running out of time, trying to manage our schedule as best as possible. But it's your fault. It's that welcome dinner yesterday. That's why I ran away from you. But otherwise, we are now breaking into the two-legged portion of the program. That is to say, we are now having the presidential tour of the stalls. So if you can hear me from outside, all store managers, get ready. The president and an army of cameramen and women are making their way to you very shortly. Lili Rakurong will be taking us through the presidential tour of the stalls. And all other delegates, please do stay with me. Let's get to know each other a bit better. Let's connect. Give me your business card. I'll give you my number. But otherwise, we can also break bread together and have some tea before we continue with the segment that is coming afterwards. Now, we are allocating 20 minutes to this tea break, so I will encourage you and implore you on behalf of the event organizers that are losing their minds, Jazz, make sure it's 20 minutes. Let's pretend we're catching a flight, okay? Let's treat it like we're catching a flight. So your flight is leaving in 20 minutes. Please do enjoy your tea break. Tautona, it was such a privilege serving you as always. Enjoy the tour, and I will see you on the other side of this tea break. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
Mo nakong ya gompieno motsana tshwere solhetse gone gore Tautona Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi a ba tswela hantle le lekoko la gagwe go tla go lekola jalo di stolo tse leng gore di hantle ha tla go bona di supiwa tse leng gore ba di supa gona hantle me gongwe mpho re ditse jalo sone speech sa ga Tautona ha tlhalosa gona gale ke ka re hela ke re botlhe ba leng gore bane ba bua ka ha botlhe ba bua ka dikgantsa diversification gona gore go tswa ka ngwe jalo mohama wa bojanala go ska so kamelwa ntlha ile nngwe hela nngwe gape ya e buileng ke gone gore go investiwe mo gone mohama oneo go ska ga tswa ka ngwa hela go dirwa jalo dikgwebo tse leng gore di dipotlana di tla bo di simolla ebe di sanne le gone go tshegediwa jalo go tsa go cushioniwa jalo go hitlhella go le hatseleletsang gore di eteng
ema ya go itse ke me ya rona ya gompe ya ngwaga ke yone advancing towards a world class tourism investment climate to create jobs. So now we are so the only way to create jobs is for us to have the value chain development. So on the value chain yalo ke na gare tsaka le mebereko re create mebereko e mengwe ya be mentsi. So ke sone se le every speaker na bua hale Jo Motsi, the president Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi le no o bile ka le Retibone bile o bile thata ka yone are this sector ke sector ele go mpe ba mo 53,000 employees na re ke palo e go tsa thata isa ba santse ba le sebaka se se tona to tseno ba ka create about 200 jobs tseno di ka nna teng ile tsa batho ba tourism hela and they will contribute more. Right now they're contributing 10% to the GDP. So now re baka contribute more than 10%, or about 20% or 25%. And ke rata thata gape ke re I think Jo Motsi.
Yes.
Now we are going khanya
modula stilo mo. Yes.
Now we are going khanya ya gore kana se abe sa bone se stona thata mo yone GDP. And ba leka ka bojothe ba leka go ira tsone di regulations and the policies and so the police atenzo le ka khona go tsamaisa kana go tsosolosa yone tourism ka go godisa gore khona go tsena mo yone the economic benefits mo lehatsheng
go ntse a lompho sengwe gape se leng gore re se lemogile ke gone Tautona Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi hana a ba rotloetsa jalo gone gore ha le leng teng mo nakong ya gompieno o na tlhalosa gore ha le bile dipalo tse leng gore di ne di supa in the second quarter gore bajanala ba ileng gore ba etetse ka kwano o supile ba heta 280,000 o na tlhalosa gore ke palo e go godimo e supang gone gore indeed mohama o ntse wa recovera o boela go re neng re itse go leng teng o tlhalositse le gone gore go na le 99,000 ba ileng gore they were in transit ba heta ka la hatsela Botswana ba heta la go mahatsheng a mangwe ke dikgantsa ileng gore na tlhalosa gone gore ba bone gore ba dira jang mo nakong ya gompieno to maintain that le gone go se tokahatsa go ya pele sengwe se na se bua ke gone gore le gotlale le re buileng gone gore ke le gotlala dikgwebo tsa bojana la Hatab o tlhalositse gone gore wherever they go to all their members they should preach world class service culture a tlhalosa gone gore botlhe ba ba etela mmono a ke beng ga khotsa ba tsoko mahatsheng a sele ba tshware jalo ka botho jo mwana Motswana a itsuweng ka jone
ha re a lebile ba khala gape yone the discrimination. Discrimination free customer service. It's very, very important. I was going to ka ra ke re go na le kgana ngwe ta batho ba betswa go di camping kwa batho ba bangwe ba kgona go kubiwa hela so ga gona le policies tsone tse gona le regulations then gona le one kana di associations tse tsona bo Hatab then batho ba kgona go itse gore nya ga go iragetse yana re ka sela kae ra lela kae then o bila hape le ga ganya air connectivity e le gore ke yone e le gore right now is just air Botswana then right now we have introduced yone e le gore ke Ethiopian Airways no ta ba simolana ka June yana e simolola go tsena kwano malwane re bona gape mo maumo ba tsile ba Namibia ba ira botsalano gone mo maung then ba le bona ba simolano ba fly batho di tourists go tswa mo maung go ya go Windhoek which will help thata kana go benefit tourism ya rona kwano because bontsi jwa batho ba janala ba tswa mahatshing ba tsena mo Namibia then be le gona ba ga driver ba ta ba tsena ke ba re ba go di intracity ba ta ba tsena through mo maung ba tsamaya ba hita ba tswela ko nte go ba go Livingston me ka jalo sengwe se ka dirwang gape ke gona gore ka dira dio dingwe gore re nne re kgone ba gone mo maung ka re ba e go tsana so re ka so ano the question gore ka dira eng so a gone le dionyana tse dingwe go kla suggest bo casino a ke tsela re bone ba gambling authority ba sentse ba bereka mo kganyone gore gone le casino gore mo maung batho ba ile ba ga kgona go etisa teng then go ne le maitiso a rileng batho ba jana la ga kgona go etisa teng then go ne le dio tse dingwe ditso di cultural events le tsone di ne teng ba jana la kgona go taba ema ba re no a roba le at least 2 days e be le gone ka hitela go makgobo ka vango be re gone ka tswa mo latsing ra ya go bo Zambia le bo Zimbabwe
o bua ka mahatsa mangwe wena mpho go ithuta mo mahatseng a mangwe o tla itse gore boshenjana ngwago no ha o simologa le rena le tautona jalo one wa ka go the Bahamas o ileng gore tautona Masisi o na tlhalosa gone gore bojana le ba ka go ba gona jalo go gorosa batho ba le 9 million ka ngwaga a tlhalosa gore go na le sengwe se ileng gore ba se dira sentle re ka nya mo go bona re ithuta gore mme go ya pele re ka dira jang re tibone le eno ntsa ha se ka ika mahatsa mangwe buile ka South Africa o buile ka Namibia a tlhalosa gone gore mo nakong ya gompieno re ka borele ba jalo bo Cape Town Jazz Festival ona ha se ka ise tshwana le se gore re ka dira meletlo e ntseng yalo e le gone go ba batho mo lehatsheng la Botswana
ne ke santse ke dumana le wena bile mo go yone ha re tibone thata ka gore o bile gore one ya FDI gore santse re re value of citizens should be more put forward in yone e be wang go pila mo sengwe le sengwe then ababu ya ka yone di open opportunities still di teng right now o bila tsa ka nata le thudu block a ke tsone mo reditse wa aba gatella ga ya nata gore nata gona dio tse dintsi tse di ka dirwang tsa bone ba jana gore ba ka kgona go nna go nata kwa ba bona dinonyane jalo ka re na le makgadi epics batho ba ta ga ba ta go makgadi epics ke event e nngwe le re e tona ile attracta ba jana la ba ntsi mo maswe then o bila be ka thuli block ra itse gore ke gone go tenteng kwa Batswana ha re dirisi that thuli block ya ka tshwanetse gore ka go dirisiwa a bua ya lo ka gore side engwe ya South Africa ke Madikwe ya side engwe ka go thuli block Madikwe a re mme ha o lebella dipalo tse di yang go Madikwe di dintsi di go dimo thata ba re ya no rona kwano go pala eng go re the very same thing ba jana ba kgona go tulela ka go ba itse gore ba connecta Madikwe then ba tulela go thuli block gona le gore ba helele go Madikwe hela so a bua ya lo gore more needs to be done a se go tamo go ne go mo le go create on implement
thank you mpo o bua ka ona mahelwa ke ngwe ene re ti bona e tlhalosa gone gore gone mono gaemo o tla itlhela ile gore mahelo a ileng gore ke yona re ka reng a selebe go se go godimo a turela beng gae gone gore ba ka etela go ba go bona a tlhalosa gore gongwe ke tsone tse ileng gore di tshwantse gore di sekasekiwe mo nakong ya gompieno go bona gore go dirwa jang gore all these tourism products di nne affordable to local citizens ke ngwa di khantse na di bua mme hela ga ke tse gore a ono a retsa jalo ene le re motse ba khola jalo tautena ba bua ka hikala ngwanyana e leng gore ene le ko moshopa ka weekend tse di hitileng ba tlhalosa gore tautona antse a eteletse pele le hatsela Botswana a bua ka dikgantsa tsone go tlhabolla bojanala ga a salla ko morago le ene o tsentse letsogo re mana eteletse pele ngwe ya mediro yene mesha the recent one being yone ya hika la ngwanyana
ke yone di cultural events kana cultural tourism e re buang ka yone re Batswana ba ka e dira kana ke gone go supa ngwao ya rona ditso tsa rona re le Batswana so re na le yone hika la ngwanyana ka moso yana o tsoga le ko wa cultural festival e lori ko Gumari ba supa ditso tsa bone ba supa ditso tsa ba ba supa ditso le tse dingwe ba na ba la le ditso gone ko hika la ngwanyana ba ikitsa le gore ba bone ba bangwe ba ne go tswa ko kana ke seronga ne ba le gone ko go na ba ne ba le ba mbukushu le bone ne ba le gone ko ba ne ba tswa go kasane ne ba le gone ko so the same can happen ko kasane ba go na le cultural festival le re teng gone ko cultural festival le re teng ko wa cultural festival le re teng hape le gone mo maung le mahilo a mangwe ona re buang ka one bothuli block ba ka supa ditso tsa bone tsa sebirwa le tse dingwe
kgantela go bua ka FDI ke na ka gakologela gore sengwe se tautona na se tlhalosa ke gone gore go tla nna le khudithamaga ke tla ibitsa jalo kana ke re board Botswana Economic Advisory Board e neng a tlhalosa gore ka yone ba batla go ntsha jalo dikgoreletsi dipe tse di dirang gore go dira kgwebo mo lehatsheng la Botswana go nne bonolo sengwe se nna se tlhalosa ke o hile se kai ka yone delay go tsa go diega ga go hiwa jalo di-permit go hiwa jalo di-license go dira kgwebo e pehela mme a tlhalosa gone gore bone batho ba batla bong batla mo lehatsheng la Botswana go tla go dira dikgwebo ba eletsa gone gore ba dira jalo di-profits mme morago ga go di dira jalo they should give back to the communities ba dire Batswana ba itumedise Batswana ka ga Botswana le yana a tswalla ba itumedisa
ke kgang e le gore batho ba kwano especially mo kwano mo Ngamiland ba ntse ba lela ka yone thata gore kana Ngamiland o ka re go humanegile nyana mme e le hilo le re tetse ka bojanala bo botona tota mo le gore le contribute thata ha se go ta go GDP mme hela ha se le ba selebego sa kwano o thaile gore batho ba teng they are very poor go irwa gore go di companies tse di tang go beeletsa kwano ba hella jalo ba sa kgone ba sa give back to the community the CSR tsa bone ba sa dira ga tsone do tsone tseo so tautona na bua tsone gore go tshwanetse go nne le gone mo body yone re tla kgona go thusa Batswana le bone gore ba kgone go anywa sengwe mo kana ba kgone go ja sengwe mo bojanaleng jwa bone kana ke jwa bone
okay ngwa di kgantse leng gore ne ba di bua ke tse leng gore di teng hela mo mahabeng wa bojanala le hatse la Botswana go buile ka human wildlife conflict ba buile jalo ka the issue ya hunting re mo utlile jalo mo dula stilo we leng gore ba ne ba mmusetsa gape maabane gore a etelle pele yone Hatab dingwaga tse pedi tse di tlang re motse a tlhalosa gone gore ga se gore ba di dimetse le bone bana le molomo ba batla go buelela puso le hatse la Botswana ba batla go ema nokeng re bua ka yone kganya trophy hunting a tlhalosa gore ga gona le lehatse le le etsaelang go godimo le itse tshomarelo tikologo le go laola jalo ke lehatse la Botswana gongwe o ka re nankola wena mpho re le ka go tlhalosa ka yone ke dirisa magoko a ga gona bua gore they are ready to support and advocate for the country ba bua ka tsone dikgang tsa trophy hunting ke ngwa dikgang tse e leng gore o na tlhalosa gore conservation remains a priority mo lehatsheng la Botswana wena mpho mme gape o na a tlhalosa le gone gore kganya vegetable ban kganya vegetable ban a tlhalosa gone gore ke maiteko a mantle a puso a lehatshe la Botswana gore ba emisitse jalo gore re ka reka merogo ko mahatsheng a sele mme o ne a tlhalosa gore re santse re saletse ko morago go netefatsa gore mme our local producers ba tisa jalo that quality vegetables tse re di eletsang le gone gore they maintain that momentum go se ka ga nna le tlhaelo gope mme ke itumela gore o buile gore maiteko a bone e le Hatab ga ba tshwara mediro e tshwana le yone ba kgona go ba bitsa jalo batla go exhibita yone merogo e leng gore ba e lema le gone go thusana ka maele a gore re dira jang gore re se ka ra shota merogo e mo mmarakeng gongwe o ka akgela ka tsone wena mpho the vegetable ban le yone ya hunting
tautona o buile ka yone gore kana yone ya hunting then we need to have a control hunting le yone the photographic tourism ke so tse leng gore di botlhokwa thata di tsenya letseno le le seng kana ka sepe especially yone ya photographic hunting le yone the photographic tourism le yone ya hunting ke tsone tse leng gore kana di sa CBNRM tse leng gore the communities based resource management ba beile thata mo go tsone mo di trust tsone tseo ba ira madi through yone hunting so madi a ba dirang go di trusting kwa ke ona a thabollang di primary schools ke ona a thabollang batho ke ona a leng gore maloba a go na le COVID yale trust tsone tse di thusa merafi ya tsone ba rekela tsone di package nyana jalo so ke madi le gore Batswana ba tshela thata ka one Batswana ba tshelang kwano mo side ya kwano ya bojanala mme ha re tsana mo go yone ya the vegetable ban rma Batswana ba se ba ke tsela ba se ba dira botoka tota fela thata ine ke ile khantile ke ora ke re ne ke tsene mo deltareng ke thetse ko lehilong le leng go tijera ba bua gore bone ba dumalana le ba bangwe ba go habu ke motselo mo tenteng go sa ditsa bo gumare ka ba ke ona ba limelang sengwe le sengwe bone se ba se irang kwa ba ira di compost manure ko campaign dijo tse di lathiwang tse dijo tse di salalang ko morago tse ba ira compost manure then that compost manure ba e busetsa ko di-farmereng then di-farmera tsone be nna tsone tse e leng gore ba lema tsone di-vegetables tsone tseo e ba taka merogo e le e tiileng ba taka di-lettuce tse di tiileng tse ba makgoa kana baeng ba di ratang di ntse jalo ba na le kga engwe gape ya bo dikgomo kgotsa dikgomo kana nama teng ga ngwe tabe re e lebile ya rona e ntse tsamatsamaelana so now what they are doing bone di-company tse dikonte tsele ba semotse go tsenya letsogo mo barui ba dikgomo gore ba batla nama e ntseng jang e leane go ntse jang ba ka dira jang so ba sena go e reka le bone go na le ga ba di bang teng ba le ka go di jisa gore di tsene di kgone go tsenya mahuranyana a ba tokang ao le bone ba rekile le machine ba ne ba ntshupetsa machine o mongwe ana ba tsenya nama mo teng then e be e tshaswa mahura a yone then gore e kgone go nna yaka batho ba e bata bone ba tswang ko nte ao
ke dumela gore mpho dio tsotlhe tse e leng gore di ne di buiwa mo letsatsing la gompieno di re isa ko mindset change o tautena a tsweletseng a bua ka one gore re kgonne go hitlhelela sengwe le sengwe se e leng gore ra se lora go godisa mogama wa bojanala mo lehatsheng la Botswana o ya ko re eletsang go bona wa ya teng o phadisana le mahatsha a mangwe ke gone hela gore re simolola go hetola dikakanyo le ka ha re ntseng re dira dilo ka teng re tibone o na a tlhalosa le gone gore kgang ya human wildlife conflict e tswa bogologolo ga e tswe jeno mme hela ka ha re handlang ka teng it continues to be complicated. He did say that gore e tsweletse ka go nna thata gore e ka dirwa ke o pehela yo leng kwa ka tsanga tshengwa ke diphologolo ka teng mme a tlhalosa gone gore ke gona ha leng gore mahama o ikemetseng wa ka tsenya le bogo teng gone ho ba invest mo go gone go thuse mpuso ka maiteko a re itseng gore a se tsale teng gangwe le gape ke kgang e leng gore o a e utlwa ke tsaela jalo gona ka kone mo maung gore puso ga e kgone go compensate batho ba ba senyeditsweng mo go bonalang
emma re tshela le bone batho bone bao ke tsala gore ba University of Botswana ba ile gore ke ba Okavango Research Institute ba na ba dira ka bojothe go leka go ruta batho go tshela le diphologolo then le makalana mangwe ona a tourism ba na ba holda go some workshops tseno ba leka go ruta batho bangwe ba tsamaya ba go ira di-research bone ba ori ba tsena ko tenteng kwa batho ba megang ba leka go ba ruta jalo gore ba ka tshelang le diphologolo ba leka ba thusa ba ka ba thusang teng mme ba teng batho ba e leng gore gone mo gangwe ba bangwe ba na matsogo bangwe ba na maoto bangwe ba na le dipadi mo dimpemo e le kaone kgang ya human wildlife conflict dikwena tsone dikubu jalo mme ke kgang e le gore santse go ka dira go le gontsi gone santse go le gontsi mo ka dirwang in case gore go kgone go thusa batho ba kgone go ithusa le bone go mo kgang ya human wildlife conflict a se ka helang yone mme le ka o ka likwa ka bojotho go fokotsa gore o se ka ga nna yalo ka gore a ke rano you never know gore wa go encountera o thulana le touleng go ntse jang then seemo sa toule sone se e le mo seemo se se ntse jang at that particular time mme hela o rutilwe mo gongwe behavioral phologolo bone bo di-guys jalo ba leka ka bojotho go ruta batho ka bone go na ba investang nako ya bone ba tswaela ba go motseng ba go ruta batho ka one gore nya ga o encountera phologolo e ntse jana o ka dira yana kana movement o ska sia kana o dire yang ba leka go reela mongwe a ke re le rona batho re boi tare ke e bona tao e tsamaya le be ke somoga ka mabilo
go ntsela go no po ka ema nya ya utlwala mpo mela segolobogolo ke ne ke itumella magoko a ga re tibona na tlhalosa gore sepe se re eletsang go se bona se godile let's invest in it a ha se ka ile ka our local flight ya Air Botswana a tlhalosa gone gore go itsa gone go nna gote ya diega e dileile e rileng let's invest in it re tsenye di resources mo teng re bone gola e ska ya lebua hela e le hale go sa dire maiteko ape a go leka gone gore mme gone go itlhabolla go ya pele re ka dira ka mokgontseng jang ke tsala gore go lekola jalo di stolo ga gata utona go ntse go tsweletsa motsana wetso ka itse jalo gone gore ba hano ka go harologana ba supa jalo dintlanyane tse di harologaneng ga mmogo le di-company tse e leng gore di teng hano bontsi ba tsone re itse gore di thusitse thata ka nako ya COVID-19 o ka itse gone gore bo National Development Bank ke tsone tse e leng gore di ne di goga ko pele re lebile gone jalo go thusa megama e leng gore o ne mogamo wa bojanala o neng o kokonetswe segolobogolo ka nako ya COVID-19 mme go itumedisa mo nakong ya gompieno go bona gore ngwaga boraro re bona jalo go tshegediwa yone phuthego ya motsana wetso se se supa gone gore go na le kgolo mo phameng o neo mme hela motswaro ke batla go naela mpho re tla e garela ka mpho a bua jalo le moeng wa rona gone ha e le mongwe ba ileng gore ba dira disupiwa tsa bone ka kwano a tlhalose ka yone tiro ga go ileng gore wa e dira ka kwano mpho tswela
thank you tota mme mo nakong eno ke tabe ke bisana le re Vasco e leng gore o direla yone company e bidiwang go te Wilderness Safaris kana ke Wilderness Botswana e leng gore mo bogompieno ene ke ne the guides manager so the guides kana ke bona batho ba e leng gore ba nna nako e ntsintsi ke bona batho ba bajanala ba gorogela mo go bone ke bona ba matshilo a bajanala a beelo thata mo go bone so gongwe nka bua le ne Vasco gongwe re buela ka bone bojanala jwa rona rra go ne go bua ka tsone di-foreign direct investment gore swantse re di be matshelo a Batswana ko godimo lona le company le ra go le kae in terms of go godisa matshelo a bana ba morahi wa kwano wa Ngabe
nya dumela na ke le Vasco go tswa go Wilderness Safaris o go vango Wilderness Safaris mo Botswana re dila thata le ma guide so company ya rona Wilderness Safaris is the only company e le rena le training school so we train from all the service staff people including guides and including managers and there's different levels that training that is very intense because we are delivering end service in our lodges for domestic and international tourism and the safety in the country relies on the guides and now we need to put a lot of training in them policing of everything. They are the ones that are trained to walk people to the rooms. They are the ones that can handle or read situations dangerous. Are the guys who are allowed to handle rifles as well. So it's very important that we do a lot of continuous training, which is a yearly training to keep the guys on top of their game. And then there are refresh processes as an industry for the tourists. As the different companies are always putting out every single year to wait all in there just to refresh all the skill levels that we have.
So lira go le ka ya so go tamoganye ya human wildlife league.
Good morning and welcome to BTV News. Welcome to Botswana Connect. I'm joined with TB. And just those pictures that you've been observing is a colleague of ours here at BTV News, Mpho Aaron, having a conversation with a rep from Wilderness Safaris, just basically trying to get context in their role that they're playing out there within the tourism sector. Prior to that, Nana Le who's also a colleague here, and they were just giving context to in the first part of the official opening this Hatab annual conference tourism is the lifeblood of many economies, and as such we consider it as a lifeblood and it is the second largest revenue earner, and he did urge leaders within the sector should take lead in productivity levels and also ensure that we provide world-class service, or rather have a world-class service culture. And he also made mention that it is imperative that we enhance our approach to tourism with intention because of it being the second largest revenue earner, and it continues to grow. And, he also made us appreciate the fact that tourism is about moving people, and as such, things like air travel are very, very important that we sort of cultivate. Sharing with us that because we will be having Ethiopian Airlines now adding Maung as part of the destinations that which they stop, Hatab has made it taken upon itself that they're going to set up a lounge Maung, such that the international audience can also be party to Botswana's tourism offerings by Khonemo BTV News. Stay with us, Ikanya Rona. Good morning.
The government has always recognized the key role of the informal SMME sector within our economy, within our development path. The informal sector and many members of the community face the daily task of fending for themselves. Now, government is coming up with an aid in the form of Chema Fund. The most recent statistics place its contribution to the gross domestic product contribution at 3.2% in 2023. The sector is estimated to employ about 200,000 people, the majority of whom are women at 70%. The provision of the Chema Fund as a revolving credit fund for the informal SMME sector is part of government's efforts to address the major challenge of access to funding for the informal SMMEs. The implementation of the Chema Fund has been placed under the administration of the Ministry of Entrepreneurship, with SIDA and LEA nominated to implement the fund with an initial seed capital of 500 million. Government acknowledges that beyond the provision of financing, there is need to also address the capacity and business management skills amongst the informal SMMEs to reduce their vulnerabilities. These funds are not grants, but loans payable under very favorable